the wonky leg like Anderson Silva that time. Something similar to that.
3 years after Conor McGregor damaged his fibula and tibia after a misstep during a fight resulted in a ghastly accident that broke his leg, the world is set to witness his return to the game.
Give us your thoughts on how it was going. I was boxing the bleeding head off him, kicking the bleeding leg off him. Usual shite dive to close the distance. This is not over.
McGregor is a perfect example of the age-long saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger." While injuries can mark the end of an amazing career, he has defied all the odds and will be making a long-awaited return to the octagon.
This city, Las Vegas, is mine. This world is mine. Well, here we go again. I'm back. You know what I mean? So let's go.
We speak the minds of his fans all over the globe when we say that they have been waiting for the return of one of UFC's most dominating fighters. But that's if only his rumored fight against Michael Chandler gets to hold.
A lot of ups, couple downs, but every road led me here.
From the news making the rounds, some might think McGregor has suddenly developed cold feet. Speaking of McGregor, he was the first fighter in UFC history to hold titles in 2 weight classes at the same time, having previously won the featherweight and lightweight divisions. Amazing, right? Well, he is one fighter that gives the fans exactly what they want to see in a UFC match. Pure adrenaline-filled performances that entertain his fans, but put fear in the hearts of his opponents. And then disaster struck. The Irishman last competed in a fight on July 10, 2021, where he was defeated by Dustin Poirier, the top lightweight at the time, breaking his leg. It was a moment of pure sadness for him and his fans to be cut off like that from a game he knew the odds were in his favor in terms of tactics. That day, McGregor entered the ring for a rematch that ended after just 1 round due to that horrific leg injury that he sustained after tripping and breaking both his fibula and tibia. A fight that many expected McGregor to easily emerge victorious from the first match between these 2 world champions, McGregor and Poirier, took place at UFC 178 in September 2014 as a featherweight contest, which McGregor won by first-round technical knockout. After that, they both moved up to the lightweight division for their rematch, which took place at UFC 257 in July 2021. Poirier won via a second-round knockout, and McGregor went home with a broken leg. Since then, McGregor has yet to make an appearance in the ring. He, however, has remained busy with Proper No 12, his whiskey brand, and appearing alongside Jake Gyllenhaal in a 2024 revival of Roadhouse. Also, in the 31st episode of the mixed martial arts reality show, The Ultimate Fighter, he served as head coach, training a group of fighters for matches against another team led by Chandler. After years of not being in the ring to face an opponent, the 35-year-old Irishman was finally cleared to compete in the UFC in Las Vegas. This was after stating that his major surgery only strengthened him, assuring his fans that he was fit enough to compete and relieving their fears.
I'm going to be here for a while.
He claimed to have become the Terminator, as he had a titanium rod inserted into his knee that extended all the way to his ankle. In a recent interview, McGregor assured James Corden that it's unbreakable, adding that with the steel bar in his thigh, he hopes to land a perfect kick against an opponent and knock them out.
This is going to be, I'm going to kick this guy in the head. He's just tailor-made for being kicked all over the place, and that's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming to wrap this steel bar around the opponent.
For his fans, this was amazing news. More amazing was the news that he was going to be going up against Michael Chandler in the main event of UFC 303. The announcement has already pulled in quite some numbers, but who doesn't want to see someone who was almost crippled for years fight again? The fact that both McGregor and Chandler prefer stand-up, fisticuff battles over grappling, is part of the reason there is so much excitement and even tension in the build-up to their main card matchup. In the UFC, McGregor has won 8 of his 10 bouts via technical knockout or knockout, whereas Chandler has won 2 of his 4 bouts in the same manner. Both fighters are really aggressive in style and would rather knock out their opponents than wait for a decision. According to UFC CEO Dana White, the greatest live gate in the organization's history has already been set for Conor McGregor's much-anticipated return matchup against Michael Chandler, which is scheduled to take place on June 29, 2024. The UFC has always benefited financially from the Irish fighter. The $17.7 million he earned after his bout with Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205 remains the organization's all-time live gate record. Nevertheless, the record appears to have already been destroyed by his comeback, even though the fight is still weeks away. Speaking on a Saturday following the UFC in St. Louis, White informed the public that the gate record was already way over $20 million. Although McGregor has competed in 3 of the top 5 events in terms of sales history, none of them came close to breaking this $20 million mark. This whopping sum goes to prove that after the Notorious one suffered his terrible injury in the bout against Poirier, fans have been clamoring for him to return to the fighting game.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here. I'd like to thank...
It appears that McGregor still has the same pulling power as he did years ago, despite many people's doubts. With the achievement of this major milestone and McGregor's comeback, White has been able to gain revenge on Showtime Sports' previous president, Stephen Espinoza.
Is it fun too? Who gives a flying fuck with Espinoza, thanks. Pardon my language, man.
Ever since White and Espinoza jointly marketed the crossover boxing battle between McGregor and Floyd Mayweather, the 2 combat sports celebrities have never been too fond of one another. In the past, Stephen Espinoza made fun of the UFC for not earning more than $20 million for a single event. Meanwhile, Espinoza organized an event in September 2023 that was headlined by Canelo Alvarez and Hermel Charlo, raking in over $20 million. So it didn't surprise the public when White had a few things to say to jab at Espinoza, given that it already appears like the huge mark has been broken. But hold on, cuz. It isn't time to do the victory dance yet.
A press conference with the 2 combatants were set for today in his home country of Ireland. However, 12 hours before they were set to hit the stage, the event was cancelled.
The press conference that was scheduled for Monday, June 3rd as a precursor to the highly anticipated matchup was postponed. To concerned fans, things are not going according to plan, and they have started to raise doubts about the fight between McGregor and Chandler. The fight, which is scheduled for June 29th in Las Vegas, is the main event of UFC 303. The UFC and McGregor have, however, apologized, citing a number of uncontrollable circumstances as the reason behind the press conference's cancellation. The former lightweight and featherweight champion of the UFC tweeted on Monday that he would put on the greatest all-time show in the octagon in the upcoming fight against Chandler. This was all in an attempt to comfort fight fans and dispel the doubts that the event may not be held again. But that alone will not calm the nerves. Ariel Helwani, an MMA journalist, tweeted on Tuesday that there was optimism surrounding the fight's continuation. However, he pointed out that the UFC has sent out feelers for a replacement or an entirely new fight for the main event of UFC 303. Now that was bizarre. To top this, the reporter during a Wednesday episode of Helwani's podcast, The MMA Hour, noted that there was a lot of hope and excitement surrounding the bout, but she added a minor disclaimer. Do I know what happens tomorrow? No. Furthermore, Alexander Volkanovski, a former featherweight champion who has previously competed over his weight class, stated on Tuesday to the Australian mixed martial arts site Submission Radio that he is prepared to save the day by taking on the main event, even though it would be a last-minute match for him.
It's just a big fight, you know what I mean? As long as it's a big fight, I wouldn't just take any fight, you know. Because, like you said, that's a big deal. Save the day as well. I know.
What is going on? Would McGregor make it to the octagon as planned? Has there been an issue with his health? Is he getting cold feet about this comeback? These are just a few of the questions his fans and the general public are asking. On the ESPN show Good Guy, Bad Guy, former mixed martial arts fighter Daniel Cormier had to talk about the fight's outcome while trying to answer the many questions surrounding the UFC community. He only ended up worsening the situation when he made mocking remarks, asking people to begin to mentally prepare themselves for disappointment and apologizing for being the one to deliver the bad news.
Conor McGregor is the biggest combat sports, icon of all time. He really is, and he's still currently fighting. The sport is better when Conor's in it.
It did not help McGregor's fans that a request for comment from a representative of McGregor and TKO, the UFC's parent company, was not answered, or that after the press conference was rescheduled, the UFC and Chandler did not release any official statements regarding the match or any announcement that it had been cancelled. Chandler, however, has continued to post on social media, sharing images from his training sessions along with the mysterious statement, "I'll be in Tennessee if you're looking for me. There is no way out of the life we chose." We think this might be a huge issue. Knowing that numerous individuals within the organization have been contacted to inquire about the incident, with none responding, we find it worrisome that everyone is currently acting so tight-lipped, including the always vocal Dana White. We must confess, we do not know what to expect anymore from McGregor's return to the octagon. What is for sure is that if he goes ahead with his comeback plan, it will be epic. Win or lose, he would be applauded as someone who never gave up on his passion.
Love it. It's getting harder to find it. Getting harder and harder to find it.
Well, this is a wrap from us over here on all we know the public should expect from McGregor's comeback. While we wait in anticipation for an announcement or assurance, do not forget to be safe and stay healthy. Also, please like and subscribe to our channel for updates regarding this matter and other news.